Hello and welcome back to another video. This is the aftermath of Burnley 1, West Ham United 2. Thank you for watching all the videos of the triple upload on Saturday. And I'm sorry there wasn't a video on Sunday. There was meant to be, but I had to do some other things. But listen, we're doing the aftermath now. And make sure you like the video and subscribe if you are new and if you enjoyed the video. But yeah, we beat Burnley last minute. Poor performance again. There isn't really much to talk about apart from the obvious, apart from the same things that I feel like I'm talking about every week when it comes to this club. But you know what, our fan base is like online, especially with their arguments. With someone like Thomas Souček, it's good for him that he's scoring a lot, and I think I try to emphasize this more so on the match reaction. I think he could be a good super sub when you're chasing a game or when you're seeing out a game. Either you want to go more defensive or more attacking. He can do either. But I do feel like he should be a super sub because Souček doesn't contribute in 90 minutes. Like, I didn't see him doing anything as a midfielder for 90 minutes. You got to contribute on the ball. You got to contribute your runs. You got to help the striker out. We didn't really have the ball, to be fair, and he is played in the number 10 as a second striker, which you'd think suits his abilities a bit, and I think even I've suggested it in the past, but you can see it just doesn't work. And we saw it didn't work because Moyes changed it in the first half, but he then played Ward-Prowse on the left. And with Bowen coming back, and with Barber playing well, we all know Barber won't start against Palace. But he can't play Souček, Alvarez and Ward-Prowse together. And we've also got the Europa League game, but I'm mainly looking to Palace because we should be winning that Europa League game. Part of me thinks that Edson Alvarez is going to get dropped because when we're chasing the game, he takes Alvarez off. And yeah, but that unbalances our midfield. We saw against Olympiacos that didn't work. I know against Chelsea it worked, but Chelsea were absolutely... Like, they were popping the ball around a bit in the first half of that game, but second half, they were awful. So, doesn't really help. But with Ward-Prowse and Souček, neither of them are defensive midfielders. They're both 8s. You can't play 2 8s on their own. And playing Alvarez right behind them and having Paquetá and Kudus on the wings, what does it do? It stifles the creativity. But Divine Mubama. Still don't know how to say the first name. I'm going to say Divine Mubama. Thing is with Divine Mubama, he still made the run for the goal. He still impacted how the goal went in. As Kudus said in his interview with the club, if he's not there, the defender clears it because he's still making movement. Mubama was honest. He said he didn't touch it. But when we go into Crystal Palace, for example, Bowen and Kudus probably can't play together because they're both right wingers, but we'll talk about that another time. But Mubama has to start over Danny Ings. And it's not necessarily a fault of Danny Ings. It's a fault of Moyes for signing Danny Ings, for wanting Danny Ings because he's a Premier League experienced striker. When really he doesn't fit the system, he plays well in a 2 up front, and we don't even have the ball to get the ball to our strikers. So all of this about criticising our strikers, even though Antonio hasn't played well, for your strikers to actually contribute to the match, you have to get the ball to them. And that's always been the main problem at West Ham, really. We've seen this over the years, like, with so many strikers in and out of the team. Over my lifetime, I could definitely go through my lifetime of seeing strikers at West Ham, and I could probably tell you that or why they wouldn't work, and it'll probably be the same reasons, usually. Like, we'll go through this another time. Well, I'll do a video on the striking issue at West Ham. The strikers issue. But something else I said in my match reaction, I singled out a Burnley player, Jordan Bayer. I've said that he's tried to dribble out with the ball like a proper ball-playing centre-back and he keeps losing the ball. There was a point in the match where Jordan Bayer in the second half ran past 3 people of our team. I think he eventually did lose the ball, but we're the only team that he seems to be dribbling past because we don't press. Only till Mubama came on did you see a press? You saw Mubaba wants to close people down. Now, Mubaba doesn't. Now, you can see from that already, Mubaba doesn't care about instruction. He just wants the ball. Give me the ball, and I'm getting it. Because Ings will close people down, but not only is it not as quick, it's not as good because Moyes is there. Like, you're not meant to do that. We're meant to like soak up pressure because when Ings presses, they pass the ball around and then they can go forward because none of our players are following the press. You can't press on your own. You're not in N'Golo Kante just running around trying to get the ball of three people, Piggy in the middle and all that. So that doesn't really work, and is a bit of a problem. We saw it against Forest. We pressed for a bit, went 1-0 up, sat back. It's a problem. It's a big problem. I don't understand how people can't both enjoy the win and criticise the performance. That seems to be a big argument as well. They're like, enjoy the win, this and that. I'm enjoying the fact that we got 3 points. I'm also criticising the performance and trying to make this stand out that is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And it's below standard. And now, obviously, I would rather play shit every game and win rather than play well every game and lose. Of course I would. Because I know that's one of the arguments, but that's not how football works, is it? We're not going to play like that every week and win, are we? That's not a way. There's not a way of winning and doing that. But we saw when we're chasing the game, we're actually attacking with intent, which we don't see, and we know we have okay attackers. Like Kudus is good, Paquetá's good, Bowen's good, and Antonio's days are past. And Ben Rama's inconsistent. Cornet doesn't get a chance. Fornals is inconsistent. Mubaba's young. Ings doesn't get service and it isn't suited to the team. So there's a mixed bag, but when you put the ball, move the ball quicker, move the ball in a box more, flood the box more, actually try and take a few shots on goal, that would be nice. It'd be nice to actually test keepers. When you see that, you get 2 goals like that. And Mohamed Kudus, especially, probably had his worst game for West Ham overall into the whole performance because he wasn't getting the ball in the first half. And when he did get the ball, he was doing good, but there was a misplaced pass here and there. And then he concedes the penalty. It's a soft penalty, but come on, use your brain a bit. Use your brain a little bit. I know he wants to get a foot in, but that's in the box. But he then shows his quality. He still showed his quality by putting those 2 crosses in. And he ended up getting 2 assists from that. And you got 2 assists without performing well. Now you can see that Kudus has played well and scored, played well and assisted. But that was a thing of your quality has to show whether you've played well or not. And he said his concentration stays the same throughout the game. That's probably what we're missing because when have we ever been a team that's been good at chasing the game when we've needed to? Like, I think the commentator even said it on the game. When both of these teams go 1-0 down, when they go 1-0 down, they don't come back. Or we don't win. Aston Villa, we went 1-0 down, lost 4-1. Everton went 1-0 down and lost 1-0. Liverpool, we went 1-0 down. And a couple other games as well. Like, the games we've gone 1-0 up on, like Forest, Chelsea, we eventually won the games. Like we went 1-0 down to Brentford and lost. And against Palace, they're going to have check Decore out maybe for the rest of the season, let alone the game of the weekend. And Eze will be a doubt. I reckon he'll start, though. I reckon there'll be a bit of mind games, but he'll start. And they lost to Luton. And some of their best players weren't turning up from the highlights that I saw. So there's no excuse to not win. Especially from the 2 games from last season, on the way we played against Palace, we've got to rise the levels. And that should be a game we should be looking to win because we've got Tottenham next and don't really care about the injuries. They're probably still going to beat us, unfortunately. Because when do we turn up for a Big 6 away game? Last time Moyes done that, Moyes has never won a Big 6 away game at West Ham, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I need to think back. Because the last time we won at Tottenham was Pellegrini. 1-0 Antonio doing the celebration. We drew 3-3 like 2 seasons later, and that was it. Like, that was probably the best Big 6 away result that we got. We've beaten teams at home, not away. We've got 3 London derbies coming up. London derbies are important. When you hate the team, like the team, whatever, you're representing London. You're representing East London in every game. And we don't turn up in these derbies. We beat Fulham a bit. I think we're one of their bogey teams. Palace, you never know. We might beat them, they might beat us. That could go anywhere. But Tottenham away is difficult. And with these 3 games coming up, I don't know whether we'll stay in the top half for long. And I'm saying top half. Like, this is what we're looking at now. We're looking at top half. Like, yeah, we've been spoiled past 3 seasons, trophy, 2 seasons in Europe. But it should be the standard to try and challenge the big 6 teams. I say this every week. If Villa are setting a precedent by going to Tottenham and winning, we should be doing the same. What have Villa done more than us? They haven't. They've done nothing more than us. They've got 1 season in Europe. So why should we be doing that? There's no excuses. There's no excuses. And it's not even like Burnley played bad, by the way. They outplayed us for so long. For like 75 minutes or something like that. Company just made the wrong substitutions and their defenders cannot defend to save their lives. The fact that we didn't even test them more is a disgrace. Because their defenders were so bad. So bad. That back four cannot defend. That's why the way they are where they are. And Moyes actually brought on Mubama. Like, I couldn't even believe my eyes. Like, obviously, Cornet didn't come on, but Benrahma, again, average, again, might test the keeper, might not. Fuck it, this guy just takes so long on the ball. When he's square on 1v1 with a defender, why does he take so long? Why? He takes too long on the ball, doesn't have blistering pace. He does have a left foot, but he doesn't use it. You can put a cross into the box, we've seen that. Just whip it in. Just whip it. And sometimes the crosses will go first man. Sometimes you might get a cross against Brentford. And sometimes you might get a cross that doesn't even reach the first man. Sometimes you might get an amazing shot. Sometimes you'll get a shot that looks like he just passed into the keeper. I've watched a warm-up once of him in shooting training, like before the game. The practice before the game. I remember watching this guy take like 10 shots and he didn't get one on target. This was like a couple years ago. The 2021-22 season. And he didn't get a shot on target. Like in training, we're talking like when you got space and stuff. Like the training before the game. So how am I meant to have confidence in people like him going forward? I don't know. Somebody needs to tell me, but yeah, we got the win. Amazing. But we can't play like that for so many minutes all the time. Can't be that cautious all the time. It was a contrast to styles. Styles make fights, and if they had any good striker about them, they actually might have beaten us. And if they could defend. But guess what? We ended up being better in both boxes. We didn't concede in open play. So that was some positive, I guess. But as I said, the attack, a bit toothless. They've got good wingers, no striker. Jay Rodriguez is still playing in 2023. That is it from now, because my throat hurts. But make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. My social medias are GVO Mikes on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.